Many men ask me, what does it look like when I'm doing well, when I'm connected to her, when I'm confident, when I'm turning her on? And what does it look like when I'm messing up?
All right, I have an admittedly insane idea, but if I don't ask you this, it's just gonna haunt me the rest of my life. I have no idea what your situation is, but I feel like we have some kind of connection, right?
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to show you some clips from a movie from 1995 called Before the Sunrise that give us phenomenal examples of this. Hey, Jeff here with Great Men Move Mountains. This is where I teach men how to have phenomenal, passionate, long-term relationships, or to know how and when to leave. What does it look like when I'm doing well with a woman, where she's attracted to me, I'm creating desire, I'm showing confidence and empathy, where she feels safe with me and also turned on within the world, turned on by having emotional range, and I'm showing her my true self without being fake or manipulating or trying to lead to a certain outcome. I want to know how to be that man and what it looks like when I'm fucking up. Let's get into it.
So how do you speak such good English?
I went to school for a summer in Los Angeles.
So Ethan Hawke just met Julie on the train, but this conversation could happen between a boyfriend-girlfriend or a married couple just the same. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah?
It's fine here.
Yeah, that's good.
I spent some time in London.
Wow.
How do you speak such good English?
So she knows that he's an American. She's obviously picked up on that, and she's seeing if he's socially aware, can pick up the thread of conversation and dance with her humor.
Me? I'm American.
You're American?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I knew you were American.
So Ethan lost the opportunity there to show that he's aware of where that was going, and he could have just kept eye contact and made a joke about Americans, like, "Yeah, we just got out of the cave. You're lucky I'm not beating my chest and just grunting." I mean, basically passing confidence tests or showing that you're socially aware when she's joking around, you can agree and amplify. You can exaggerate and make a sarcastic or slightly self-deprecating joke about yourself, or in this case, the culture that he comes from.
And of course, you don't speak any other language, right?
So again, she's giving him another shit test here, right back to back, because he didn't show congruence, because he didn't show social awareness in the previous joke. She's going to throw another one at him here. So this is more of a confidence test to see how he handles it.
Yeah, I get it. So I'm the crude, dumb, vulgar American who doesn't speak any other languages, who has no culture, right?
There we go. Okay. So there's a little bit more of joking about himself. He's still a little bit defensive, though, right? They're like, "Oh, I get it. And he's actually verbalizing that when he doesn't need to. He can just go ahead and make the joke and move forward.
But I tried. I took French for 4 years in high school. When I first got to Paris, I stood in line at the metro station.
So I love what he's doing here now. He's taking that thread of conversation and he's telling a story about his past, and it's going to be related to him trying to learn French. And so that's a phenomenal thing. He didn't just clam up after he kind of was on the back foot. He took the lead here, and now he's telling a true story about his past.
I was practicing. Un billet, s'il vous plaît. Un billet, s'il vous plaît. You know? Un billet, s'il vous plaît. Un billet, s'il vous plaît. You know? And I get up there, and I look at this woman, and my mind goes completely blank, and I start saying, listen, I need a ticket to get to, so anyway.
So he was animated in the story. He actually used some dialogue that happened back in the day, which makes the story more interesting and funny. And you can see that, look at her reaction here. She's enjoying it. She was in the moment with him.
So where are you headed?
Well, back to Paris. My classes start next week.
You're still in school? Where do you go?
Yeah, La Sorbonne, you know?
Sure. Are you coming from Budapest?
So this is a little bit of dry tennis back and forth. He could have gone into asking her what it felt like where she's going to school, why she went to Paris, what excites her about Paris, asking her to speak more about the emotions of those threads that she just brought up. And he's not quite sure what to say, so he's just kind of, now we're into almost interrogation mode, into like an interview. So let's see how it goes from here.
Yeah, I was visiting my grandmother.
How's she?
She's okay.
She's all right?
She's fine, yeah.
See, Julie, the actress here, as she's playing the character, of course, is chuckling because he's not really engaging with her emotions, and he's kind of firing off these dry questions, and she's thinking, you don't know anything about my grandmother. Why are you asking if she's fine? And it's a really superficial way to just to attempt to continue the conversation. Again, he could ask, what's your grandmother like? What's your relationship with your grandmother like? He could ask her a deeper emotional question to help her open up. Why would he want her to open up? Because when someone shares an emotional story with you, they feel more connected to you. They feel more open and trusting with you.
How about you? Where are you going?
I'm going to Vienna.
So she had to lead the conversation here, right? He basically didn't take the lead, and he just looked uncertain about himself and thus forced her to take the lead. So right now in the conversation, she's in the driver's seat.
Vienna. What's there?
I have no idea. I'm flying out of there tomorrow.
Huh. You're on holiday?
I don't really know what I'm on. You know?
Okay.
I'm just, I'm just traveling around. I've been riding the trains for the past 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. You were visiting friends or just on your own?
Yeah, you know, I had a friend in Madrid, but
Madrid, that's nice.
yeah, I got one of those Euro passes. Is what I did.
That's great.
So again, he lost the opportunity. He's not understanding that women want emotional resonance. You could see that he had some conflict in what he was saying. There was obviously something happened, the way his brow furrowed, and he's not sharing with her emotions within the answer. It's just dry. It's kind, and you know, most guys would look at this and say, "Oh, they're having a conversation. There's nothing wrong with that." Well, yeah, he's not deepening their connection. There's no passion within what he's saying. There's no emotions within what he's saying. And a woman wants to have an emotional experience. She wants to feel excited in your presence. She wants to feel depth within what you're saying. And maybe it's a negative story, but she can be enthralled and connected and compassionate with an emotional negative story even. So share more emotions, Ethan.
Says this trip around Europe been good for you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's been, it sucked, you know?
What?
No, it hasn't. It's had its, well, I'll tell you, you know, sitting, you know, for weeks on end looking out the window has actually been kind of great.
So there, when he said, yeah, it's been great. Oh, no, it sucked. That was a pattern interrupt, and it got her to laugh. And he was honest, and he shared some emotion there. And you see how she immediately reacted to it.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, for instance, you have ideas that you ordinarily wouldn't have.
What kind of ideas?
You want to hear one?
Yeah, tell me.
All right. I have this idea, okay?
Mm-hmm.
For a television show. Some friends of mine are these cable access producers. Do you know what that is? Cable access. I don't know. Anybody can produce a show real cheap and they have to put it on, right? And I have this idea for this show that would last 24 hours a day for a year straight, right? What you do is you get 365 people from cities all over the world.
Okay, now you notice that he's passionate about what he's speaking about. This is really an idea that he has, that he likes the idea, he's excited, he wants to share it with her, and she's engaged with him.
To do these 24-hour documents of real time, right? Capturing life as it's lived. You know, it would start with a guy waking up in the morning and, you know, taking a long shower, eating a little breakfast, making a little coffee, you know, and reading the paper.
Wait. All those mundane, boring thing everybody has to do every day of their fucking life.
Well, I was going to say the poetry of day-to-day life, but, you know, you say it the way you say it, I'll say it the way I say it.
There we go. So another shit test. Oh, you mean like boring shit we do every single day? And he said, yeah, I mean, I was going to say the poetry of every single day, but you say it how you like. So he came back and he reframed it, and, you know, he just took it in stride, and here we go.
like that.
But no, listen, think about it like
Who's
this.
gonna want to watch this?
Well, all right, think about it like this. Why is it that a dog, you know, sleeping in the sun is so beautiful? You know, it is. It's beautiful, you know. But a guy standing in a bank machine trying to take some money out looks like a complete moron.
So she said, who would watch this? And he didn't answer that direct question. He offered her a metaphor or an analogy about the beauty of watching a dog sleep in the sunshine and compared that to, why does a guy getting money out of the ATM look like a complete moron? That within itself has emotional range. Why is one beautiful and one look like a moron? He didn't have to answer her direct question. He used a story. He used a metaphor. I love it.
So it's like a National Geographic program, but on people.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see it, like 24 boring hours, sorry, and like a 3-minute sex scene where he falls asleep right after, no?
Okay, now she brings up sex. Now that's usually an indication that the woman wants to escalate the relationship. If you were having this conversation with your girlfriend or your wife, maybe that wouldn't be unusual for you. But if you're in a place where there's been no intimacy, no romance, not a lot of physicality in the relationship, and she brings up something like, oh, and 3-minute sex scene, that's showing that she wants to now move into a more intimate conversation. At the same time, this is yet another shit test, confidence test, because she said a 3-minute sex scene, giving Ethan or the guy in the story a hard time about, you know, not lasting very long in bed. So let's see how Ethan responds to it.
Yeah, you know, and I mean that would be a great episode.
This was good. He responded really well. He agreed and he kind of amplified. Yeah, that would be a great episode. He ignored the kind of he ignored that she was giving him shit about not lasting very long, and he just took it and ran with it. Like, yeah, that would be a great episode. People would love that.
Yeah.
People would talk about that episode. I mean, you and your friends could do one in Paris if you wanted to. I mean,
Sure.
I don't know, the thing that kind of haunts me is
So there, I love, he said, you and your friends could do one in Paris. I would have paused. You're hitting the ball over the net to her in conversation, right? So now we're having a fun conversation. She's laughing. She said, we're talking about sex. It's humorous. He said, yeah, you and your friends could shoot one of those in Paris. And then pause. Let her dance with that energy now. But he's going to go right into something that's bothering him about it. So he's not very advanced in conversation with a woman here. That's a missed opportunity to let her dance with that sexy, humorous energy.
is the distribution. You know, I mean, getting these tapes from town to town, city to city.
So he's talking about just logistical bullshit now. It's a complete wet blanket on the energy of what was being discussed before. He shouldn't be talking about logistics right now. He should be keeping up the funny banter and the connected, intimate banter.
So that it would play continuously, because it'd have to play all the time, or else it just wouldn't work.
Thank you.
Thanks. You know what? Not service-oriented. Just observation about Europe.
So in this scene on the train, Ethan missed a lot of opportunities to play tennis with her in conversation, to be emotionally resonant and socially aware with a woman. So these are some things to certainly consider, all right? Yeah, he did pass a couple of shit tests pretty well, where he just made a joke about it and moved on. Or when she mentioned, yeah, it's a 3-minute sex scene, he just ignored the rib on men that guy wouldn't have lasted very long in bed, and just agreed and amplified. Yeah, that'd be a great scene. People would talk about that scene. Okay. Then he moved into logistics, wet blanket, didn't need to do that. So Ethan did a couple of things well there, but overall he missed a lot of opportunities in relationship to help her feel more connected, to share more about emotions around her grandmother and where she was from in Paris and the experience of her life. So he missed a lot of opportunity to have deeper connection there. Don't forget to like this video and make a comment of what you liked that Ethan did in this scene, or what he could have done better. See you guys soon.
I'ma tell you about a woman whose heart is sunshine, whose body burn hot. I'ma tell you about a woman who's cold as tundra, with some frozen eyes. I can tell by the way she moves that she cares, and it's lovely too. I'ma tell you about a story of a broken man, how it began, how it ends, but he didn't understand.